All right, let's now answer example 1 here. It says $1,500 is deposited into an investment account which earns 9% per annum simple interest. Model this simple interest investment using recursion relation in the form of this. All right, so let's give this a go. The first thing we're going to do is say, well, V of 0 is my principal. It's how much I originally deposited, which was $1,500. Then to figure out V of n plus 1, you take V of n and you plus on D. Now, what is D here? Well, remember, this is simple interest. Simple interest means you're just finding 9% of the original amount. So I'm going to go 9 over 100 times by my principal amount. So 9 over 100 times 1,500. All right, so I'll come over here. A quicker way of going 9 over 100, hopefully you all know that's the same as 0.09. That's what I would do, much quicker. And then I'd go 1,500. And then I get 135. I can't talk. 135. That means each year I'm earning $135. Each year I'm earning $135. I deposit 1,500. I get 9% per annum simple interest. That means every year they add on $135. All right, it says use the model to determine the value of the investment after 3 years. Let us make sure we read the question carefully. Remember, if you're in a SAC or an exam and they say use the model, you need to make sure that you're actually showing the iterations. So we begin with the principal amount. So the principal amount is V of 0. That's $1,500. Then we go after 1 year. How much money is in this bank account after 1 year? Well, that's going to be V of 1. To figure this out, remember, I actually have to show it. I have to go, I'm taking 1,500 and I'm plus, oh, that's too many zeros. And I'm plussing 135 onto that. You can use your calculator here, or you could just say that's 1,635. And then you're going to say, all right, what's happening after 2 years? All right, that's going to be V of 2. To figure that out, I take this number here, 1,635, and I add on 135. Remember, what you're adding on is constant. It's always going to be 135. So it'll be 1,770. What about after 3 years? This is the last one, people. We're nearly there. After 3 years. All right, after 3 years is going to be V3. I'm going to take 1,770 and add onto it 135, and that's going to give me $1,905. Therefore, and I might do this in a different color just to jazz it up a little bit. Therefore, after 3 years, the investment is worth $1,905. That's how you do that. Perfect. Next one. It says, after how many years will the investment first exceed $4,000? All right, let's talk about the different ways you could do this, because we actually have some options here. Remember, whenever you get questions where it says after how many years, when will such and such happen? In this case, when will it first exceed $4,000? In my mind, the best thing you could do is use a rule. So how can I change my recursion relation into a rule? Well, my rule would be what? I'm going to say, well, if I come up here, my rule is I'm starting with $1,500, and then I'm adding on 135 N. Oh, if I can write. So can I try this one more time? I'm starting with $1,500, and I'm adding on 135, and then I'm going to times that by N. And the reason why I'm timesing that by N is because that's just going to represent, this N is going to represent how many years have gone by. So with this, for instance, I could have gone 1,500 plus 135, and I could times it by 3, and I should get this. Right? If I times it by 3, I get 1,905. So now I could use this to solve for what I want. I could say, let this be equal to $4,000. And now I just need to solve for N. So I'd come up here, I'd go menu 3, 1. I would go 1,500. plus 135 times x is equal to 4,000. And then I'm going to go comma f, close brackets. Make sure you've got everything right there. That looks good. I do that. Now it's going to give me 18.5. People tend to get confused about whether or not you round up or round down. Take note that it says, when does it first exceed $4,000? That means, when is it more than $4,000? If I come and grab this for a moment and I plug into this 18, what do you notice about the number? It's 3,930. No good. We need to exceed $4,000. That means I should have rounded up to 19 years, and then I've got there, because then I get that number there. So it's going to be, and it's always good to write it unrounded first, 18.51 ... therefore 19 years. And that's it. That is how you do that question. So again, whenever you get questions that ask you after how many years, when will such and such happen, I always advise to use a rule in that case. You'll find it much easier. All right, hopefully that helps, and I'll see you later.